How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Yo, what is up, fellas? Give me a second. I just gotta change over another screen over here. I think that's the screen. Yes, that should be the screen, and I should rename this main vertical screen. That way people can, or I can change it in the future. All right, how are we doing? Welcome, everybody. Hopefully you guys are on the right stream if you're watching me on YouTube. There are two streams at the moment. One of them is a vertical stream, and the other one is the normal stream that you see me on. So if you're watching me on PC, on tablet, something with a bigger screen, maybe you want to go watch the stream that doesn't say vertical in the title. But if you're watching me on mobile, if you're watching me on something that has a vertical screen, then you could head over to the vertical YouTube video stream and you can watch me over there. All right. How's everyone doing? It is a long weekend in Canada. I know TH is saying, TH is already mad and angry. TH, your comment was not deleted. Your comment was actually on the vertical stream, but now here you are on the main stream. But no, yeah, you're asking, why is there a show today? It's a Canadian holiday. It is a Canadian holiday, and yeah, TH, yeah, woohoo. Your Panthers won. Yay. Who cares? Nobody cares, okay? Nobody cares. Panthers won. It's another Game 7 choke from Maple Leafs. We knew it was going to happen. I was ready for it. I mean, everyone knows it's going to happen every time. It's the 7th Game 7 choke in a row. So what more can we expect from the greatest Game 7 chokes of a lifetime, right? So nothing else to really talk about that besides Toronto Maple Leafs suck, and it hurts. It's depressing being a Toronto Maple Leaf fan every year. Every year you get your hopes up just so you can shoot your hopes again at the end of the day, right in the head. It sucks. It's absolutely painful, but you guys are not here to cry with me about how my team lost. You're here to talk about how the stock market's moving and potentially talk about what trades we can take advantage tomorrow. I could take the day off today. Granted, it was a long weekend, but no, I'll take my day off Monday, which is Memorial Day, I believe. Next Monday is Memorial Day, so I'll take my day off, stream, and take a nice 4-day weekend. Today, it's time to work, mainly because I traded today. And also I want to prepare for tomorrow. I also want to show you guys my trades on the day. So basic stream schedule starting Monday. With the brand new week, that means we got a whole new set of earnings names. So why don't we head over to the full screen, show you guys my trades on the day. If you're on the vertical stream, you're already watching me on the full screen, so I'm gonna have to change some things up on the vertical stream there, but you know, something that I'm trying out this new idea of streaming on the vertical side on the YouTube too, because I see a lot of people are growing their channels doing that. So if working out for them, I want to do it too. So if you are on the vertical side, obviously you're watching it, but if you're on desktop, maybe you want to go over to a stream that says you know, the other one. This is the first notification I've gotten in so long from stupid YouTube. Oh wow, man, you tell them, Lily's grandma. That means they're actually suppressing me on my streams over here. You know, they are shadow banning my content and they're suppressing my content on YouTube, and they don't want me to succeed. Maybe that's why I'm not getting as many views as I used to get back in the day. So shout out to YouTube over there for shadow banning me. You know what? Maybe it's time to start a new channel and start fresh all over again. We'll see if that's something we might have to do. Nah, I'm just joking. Alright, so today's trades on the day for me. I felt like today was a little slow. Granted, there were a lot of names moving around. You had quantum names in play. You had some energy names such as OKLO. Earnings name ZIM was in play. UNH was also moving around today. So there were stocks to trade. Maybe calling it today slow was actually not the right way to put it, because the market did start down and have an insane reversal all day. So there were trades around to participate in. I guess I just didn't spend the time to look for the bigger trades that I usually look for, I guess. But today there were a bunch of opportunities that I got to trade off of and make some profits. So let's quickly show you guys those trades, starting with PTIX. Usually I take the short on these names, the small cap names. They go up ridiculous percentages. Usually I go short when the stock goes back through the pre-market high right around here, but the cost to borrow for this stock was $12 for 100 shares. So I said, you know what, I don't want to pay $12 for 100 shares. You know, this stock just does not look like, you know, I want to be paying $12 for 100 shares. But if I did, honestly, there was a setup over here off the open where I would have easily made that money in a heartbeat, right? I could have easily made that money. Then I could have potentially lost some of that money on the short here and then made it back on the longs later on. But since I didn't really pay for the shorts, I was watching the stock trade and I was trying to understand how you know, people would react to what's happening at the moment. Well, what's happening is the stock is holding above $9. It is not able to get below 9, and had I actually been short, I would have been uncomfortable with this action over here, how it's holding $9 and it's not really getting too much below 9. So given that little information, I got long, risking the 850 area, which is right around VWAP. That's also last month's high. I believe it's last month's high. So holding above pre-market high, holding above last month's high, especially after halting up and then pulling back and still showing you that buyers are stepping in. So all things granted, I figured, hey, if I was short, I'd be uncomfortable. That means there are some people who are going to be uncomfortable and they're going to punch out for a loss on the move to the north side. So trying to look for that squeeze to take advantage in long into $9 and and basically getting a free ride up to $11, trying a little dip buy opportunity over here. That doesn't work out, so giving some money back over here, but then making that money right back, taking that $11 breakout into $12, $13. There was another breakout right here that you could have taken. You draw a trend line and that you could have entered somewhere here, or you could have waited for that trend line to break, and the stock to show that buyers are stepping in above that trend line, which exactly happened. After breaking above the trend line, it had a little bit of a back and forth between $12 and $12.50, and then broke out for another leg up run to the north side, but sadly that was a fail break and then pulls right back south. Another trade where I was debating to take it, but I just said screw it. I made my money on the stock today. I'm going to ignore it and just keep watching it from the sidelines. OKLO, probably one of the better trades on the day for me today. Watch the stock go up all day, later on pull back into VWAP. There were a couple spots where I was itching to get myself into a trade, but I guess maybe the fact that I was at home, the fact that I'm not actually work today, it was very beneficial for me because I was very patient on this. I stepped away from my computer in this meantime. I went to go play with my dog. I went to go play with my niece. I went outside in the hot weather and so on. So combining all those things, I was able to miss out on a lot of this back and forth nonsense where the stock just stays below the trend line. But later on, actually being in my seat at the right time, I'm seeing the trend line break, able to capture a beautiful move to the upside here, right back into high a day where the stock does pull back from. Later on, it bounces from the $38 area, which happens to be Friday's VWAP, so it basically starts to hold above Friday's VWAP and show you that buyers are coming in again, looking for that second leg to kind of hold after breaking high a day. So right here it breaks high a day, looking for that second leg to go to the north side, giving it a small shot. This was a very tiny entry, taking a loss on that entry, but then a second trend line over here as the stock breaks that or doesn't really break that 38, kind of pushes back into 38 and then immediately bounces off of 38. So taking that little trend line break, taking that little consolidation above this little seller area where also the stock starts to hold, so getting long back again and then getting nice little profits all the way into end of day, basically taking a market on close exit, a 4 p.m. exit over there on OKLO for the second leg. So I think I traded this stock probably really good for something that I'm known to be itchy and take these trades a little too early. So I think I executed this really well. Even with that little loss over there, I feel like I executed this one really well. Probably at the best of my ability over there on that one. Okay. One thing that I could always improve is sizing. I think I did not have enough. I know I did not have enough size on this position. Granted, the amount of risk that I actually had on the first entry or on the second entry, I could have risked a lot more and taken a lot more size. But today I just felt like it was a slow day, and I don't want to put too much risk on the table. I don't want to start Monday red and go into work tomorrow and be like, oh my god, I have to start the week out of a hole. I have to work out of a big red day that I dug myself into on a slow day. But no, there were some good trades today. I just had to trade properly with some size. Here was another good trade that I took. Zim earnings name bouncing off of VWAP. If I say Zim 3-4 times, Momo will start showing up in the stream, so watch out for Momo really quick. We got Zim holding VWAP and then pushing right back into high day, potentially holding too much of size back to break even after it clearly failed the high day breakout, and also that high day happens to be a very important daily level. So knowing that the area was a very important daily level, stock basically rejected that very important daily level over here already off the opening drive, pulls back, holds VWAP very well, so taking that long is not bad, but then holding as much size as I did back to break even compared to how much size I actually covered, and the significance of that level, and how the stock broke the high a day today, broke that significant level in that very same move, and did not have any follow through to the upside after that. Considering all that, could have cut this trade way quicker and taken my profits way earlier. UNH, oh, missing out on this trade. One of my buddies called out the trade, mentioned that UNH was looking really good for a opening range breakout long. Technically, I guess you could say opening range breakout long happened somewhere over here at 306. Breaks 306, pulls back to 306, and then holds 306 for the second leg, and then this is basically the third leg in a way. But this is also lining up with the pre-market high break, and also you can call it the not the 5-minute opening range break, not the hourly opening range break, probably a little bit longer opening range break, but still you're getting a pre-market high maybe let's just call it a pre-market high break, right? Because I think this was technically the opening range break, or you can have had a trend line, whatever. So pre-market high, the stock pushes into that area, pulls back, and then shows you buyers are still interested, buyers are still stepping in, taking that pre-market high break, getting a decent move long out of the position, so I'm not too upset out of it. But maybe I was expecting too clean. I was just expecting green, and that it did not give to me, and hence I dumped out right away. Could have potentially get back into the trade over here, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would have or not, but my buddy did. The buddy who called out the trade, Caterino, he actually got back into the trade, and I'm pretty sure he's holding it for a swing trade over there. So shout out to Caterino. UNH also looking pretty bullish with the way it closed today, so not bad at all. Not bad of a trade at all over there on UNH for my friend. Rivian had a pretty good move today into $16. I heard the Benzinga Squawk guy mention that, oh, by the way, Benzinga Squawk, shout out to Benzinga if you're interested to get 10% off. Go check my links below in the description, and you might see there is a new affiliate sponsor right now on the Linktree page. So yes, go check out that affiliate sponsor, Traders Insight. Get 15% off by using code PRAD15, or click on that link in that Linktree page. I'll be talking about them very soon, very shortly. Let's go back to my charts on the day though. So Rivian having a big volume breakout into $16, but having no follow through above 16 in that moment. No follow through above 16, so I'm getting short, looking for a move back to VWAP. It kind of double tops on, you're not really looking at 1 minute for double tops, but as a day trader, if you see that, you're seeing the stock go into 16, fail to hold above 16, push back above 16, fail to hold above 16 again, and then actually start to move back down. The short looks good, but it just bounces right off the 9 EMA on the 5 minute and then pushes right back into the north side. So cutting the trade, not even letting it go to my stop and saying, yeah, I've seen enough. I've seen that the stock is going against me now. Buyers are back in control. In that brief moment, sellers were in control. It wasn't really a capitulatory move, but it had a capitulation, almost volume type of action coming into that high day breakout, and with the lack of follow through. So at least a move into VWAP as a mean reversion was expected, but with the way it's reacting to the EMAs, bouncing off the EMAs, and buyers coming back onto the bid, the box is looking strong again, box beating level 2. All things considered, I just said nope, no more, I'm out of this position, and good call over there. One bad call I made today was that long, and another bad call was potentially not cutting this trade too quick. So let's talk about this roll here. I need to stop adding into positions like this. This is almost a one-shot straight move that could have immediately snapped back, and I would have been very, very uncomfortable. This is basically micro strategy. MSTU, MSTR. MSTR stays below yesterday's low or yesterday's high throughout the day, but eventually breaks that important level. For intraday trading, at least the yesterday's low, yesterday's high, reclaims it and manages to stay above it multiple times. So double bottom over here after the opening range breakout. So you got a beautiful double bottom after opening range breakout into that key daily level 2. So all things considered, I figured, nice little opportunity to the upside. I was right about that, but this is where I should really be having all of my size. Adding 50% here and then 50% there is ridiculous. That's my EV up here is not as good as down here, so why would I be adding up here? Is just stupidity. I need to get much better at doing things like that. This 50-50 nonsense is ridiculous. Just take 100% of your size here and then risk it to that low. Risk 50% to that low if you're scared, and then risk another 50% to VWAP, and then really get the best out of that trade. So not happy with that entry over there, but still managing the trade really well so far, getting profits out of it, watching it on the dip back, getting in on the dip back, adding again on the move up over there. Sadly, it doesn't really have too much follow through for when I'm looking for it to follow through, and I could have cut the trade right here somewhere. But if not cutting the trade right there made me the reason why I didn't cut the trade right there is because I was hoping and I was dreaming. So not cutting the trade right there because of hopium and dream made me to actually turn a nice little winner into a break-even trade on the day. So sometimes, stick to your plan. Not sometimes, all the time. Stick to your plan, and you don't have to turn your trades into losers. And that entry just not good. Just take both of these lots right here as an entry. This trade I'm not too upset about, honestly, but that entry really kind of ruins this whole trade for me. Okay, last but not least, a losing trade, an actual losing trade. Everything else was just winners for me because your boy was sniping today. Pow, 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 pow. A losing trade. Oh, you guys probably can't see on the vertical screen too well. But hey, vertical stream is mainly for bringing in more viewers into the mainstream. So if you are watching me on the vertical stream at the moment, go check me out on YouTube for the full stream, ladies and gentlemen, for the full stream. Baba getting that move down in the pre-market. It's already below Friday's low. I think Friday's low was 120. 260, 123, somewhere in this area. So already below it. Opening drive, it bounces off of 180, but then it has a seller into 121. So it goes a little bit of a back and forth off the open. So I'm looking for an opening drive short, somewhere into 120.50, and a breakdown of 120 for a bigger move south on Baba. But sadly, not getting the move I wanted. It pushes back into the pre-market highs, the high a day, and has a little bit of a back and forth, showing me that the seller is still there. So I add a little bit more size to look for that move right back into 120 and a possible break of 120, but it doesn't do that. And this time, I say, yeah, I'm not going to hope and dream for this one. If it doesn't work, I'm sticking to my stop and I'm walking away from it. And best call I made over there today, because taking a loss and moving away on this name, giving me enough breathing room to go away and look for other good trades on the day today. And names like Zim, names like OKLO, names like PTIX helping me out to stay green on the day. So Baba, maybe I need to put it on the blacklist for a couple days, because so far this whole month Baba has been nothing but taking profits away from me. Talking about profits, let me quickly check how MLB is doing. How is MLB going? Okay, so that is my trades on the day, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go show you guys the earnings calendar. Earnings calendar is a little busy, not big names. I think Nvidia is still a couple weeks or maybe 1 week away, but we still have a decent earnings board, so nothing to be too upset about. One of my coworkers today messaged me during work, and he's like, "Oh man, I'm not happy. Earnings season's almost coming to an end." I'm like, "Bro, Nvidia hasn't even reported yet. What do you mean earnings season's coming to an end? You still have a lot of names over here. The market's booming. You have a lot of things moving around. Keysight reports, Palo Alto reports, CrowdStrike I think hasn't reported yet, or maybe they have, I don't remember. Like, there's so many big names out there to still watch out for. Autodesk, Intuit, Adobe, TD Bank. I mean, come on, let's go through this list real quick. Today, obviously, Zim reported earnings report. Couple other companies here. Don't really remember any of these logos. I usually just quickly scan for logos because that's how I trade. I remember logos and I remember companies. Trip.com, that one's in the watch list. Anything else over here? Not that nothing stands out. Pony AI, that one for sure. Tomorrow pre-market reporting, so that's gonna be on the watch list. Home Depot, Bilibili, that's China number one. Vikings, ARBE, Amer Sports. I'm pretty sure Amer Sports has a pretty big holding, so Amer Sports is important. That one's gonna be on the watch list. Vips, VIPS, that has Chinese letters on there, so I'm guessing that's Chinese. But I do remember trading Vips way back in the day. I haven't traded in a long time, so maybe not as important. But tomorrow after hours, Palo Alto, Toll Brothers, Keysight, VSAT, Baidu, Target, TJX, VF Corporation, VIX, Canada Goose, Xpeng, Domo, Urban Outfitters, Zoom, Snowflake. I mean, there's still so many names out there on the board. So for anyone who's worried that give me a second here, chat. Oh, okay, hit that one, losing that one. Looks like that one's good for now. That one's good for now. That one's good for now. Delayed game. Why? Maybe it was raining or something. Okay. Kinda cooked, kinda okay. Kinda cooked, kinda okay. Kinda cooked, kinda okay. Maybe this is working out. Adam, if you're watching me, maybe this is working out, pal. Maybe it's working out. We'll see. For those of you who are wondering, don't worry. Keep wondering. I'm never going to tell you what I'm talking about. Okay. Earnings board looking very active. Let me quickly introduce you guys to the newest sponsor of your boy TraderPrad. This awesome tool called Traders Insight. Previously, you've seen me use the tool Flash Research. I've talked about it quite a bit in depth, especially because of their backtesting tool. I still think their backtesting tool is by far the best backtesting tool I've played with. But this company is expected to also incorporate a backtesting tool very soon, and they also have exactly everything Flash Research does already. So pretty awesome tool over here, especially if you're trading small cap names. But not only small cap, this is also great for large cap. For small cap, for example, PTIX, you can see quickly historical stats of how PTIX, that's a name I traded today, historically, how does the stock move on day one? It's gapped up 6 times. It's closed below the day's open 67% of those times, and this is how it usually trades most of those times. And here's a quick little synopsis of the dilution tracker. You get to see the overall risk of the stock, the offering availability. This shows you if their company is actually going to possibly do an intraday offering or pre-market offering and so on. That might save you from going long, or that might make you want to go look for a short. Months until their cash is depleted. They have until 1.5 months till their cash is depleted, so they need to raise money. How did they raise money? They make these nonsensical BS reports where the stock starts to go up to the north side, and then they start doing an offering and the stock splits and all kinds of craziness to raise money, and the stock then eventually plummets to the south side. So you want to be careful when you're trading small cap names, especially when you're trading to the short side, but also you want to be careful when you're trading them to the long side. So knowing all of this information made me stay quick and made me stay nimble on this name today, especially when I'm going for the long. I did. It's my number one trade today, and it was the long side, right? So looking at all of the stats on the fly, you can also have you know, a quick alert panel over here. You turn on, you can set the alerts for the halt panel, and nice alerts go off throughout the day. You can also add a chart if you want, and a heat map, and a SEC filings, and all kinds of things if you're interested. A really good thing about this software here, let me add SEC filing. You can't do talk to AI with the SEC filing. Okay, so let me delete this one. If you go to right here on the stock stats, there's a little AI tool that they have on their on their platform, which is awesome. You can talk to an AI over here, for example, as I did. What are the chances that the stock squeezes? You can get a nice little report based on the stats, previous stats. What are the chances that the stock squeezes? And you get an AI report. Now, if you're reading the news on this name, you can hit summarize content, and really quickly it summarizes the news for you, and you get to read a very quickly 2-sentence brief. Well, it says failed to summarize this one. Let's try this one over here, because that one didn't really have content to summarize. Really, that one more had like a big image and a link. I'm pretty sure this one will work better. So you can it doesn't want to summarize for me while I'm you know, doing a live demo. That's not a good thing. But it does work in the morning. I promise you, I tried it and it worked in the morning. So you can click summarize content, and usually it will summarize for you. Right now it wants to fail for some reason, so we'll let it fail. But the awesome tool over here, and if you guys are interested in this platform, check out the link in the description below. It is the first affiliated sponsor right up here, Traders Insight, and you get 15% off for using code PRAD15. Not only small cap, you can also look at large cap names. For example, UNH was moving today. I looked at where UNH is on the daily chart. Quickly, you can get a chart synopsis. You don't really need dilution tracker stats on this name, but it's or large cap names, but it's worth having it. Here's a quick little news tool again. Quickly read about the news. Let's try the summarize content again. They're potentially working. There you go. The summarize content work over here. Investigation initiated that may have led false misleading disclosures to potential violating security. Impact 6 out of 10. Sentiment bearish. So you get a quick little AI synopsis on what the latest news is, or that specific news, by reading summarize. You can also add other components over here. Create a custom component. Oh wow, what is this? Upload JSON. What in the world? Oh, this is nuts. This is nuts. Create a custom component from an API. So you could basically import APIs from like Polygon and so on, and use that to show you more details about a certain stock that you're interested in. You can import CSVs, JSONs, and look at other types of details. I do remember them talking about you know, adding the ability to trade through this for you. So if you have a platform that trades with APIs, for example, my brokerage, my prop brokerage has API capabilities. So, oh, this is pretty interesting. Out of the 8 times that UNH has gapped up more than 5%, it has traditionally closed down 75% of the time below the open. That's pretty interesting. Let's go check about OKOLO, which is a stock that moved today. Look at that. Out of the 26 times that the stock has went up above 5% off pre-market and pre-market, 46% of the time it is closed red, and the other 54% of the time it's closed green. And day 2, it's closed green again. So that's pretty interesting. So tomorrow's day 2. That's basically telling you that this stock could break 40 and keep going higher and close green, close anywhere up to How much is it? Another 9% move up. I mean, look, I'm just looking at stats. I'm just looking at stats and telling you what I see. Don't shoot the messenger, right? So these are the type of tools that can really help you unlock some edge that you previously might not have had. Oh my, look at Dollar General. Now that is a name to take a look at too. Dollar General for a swing trade. That's something to keep an eye out for. SAT8's not as interesting for me. Kava is to the downside today. This scanner right now is only scanning for stocks that are either up 5% today or down 5% today on 1 million shares traded. So either up 5% or down 5%. So let me just scan for some stocks here for us. FSLR gapping back down over here. I really like that DG, ladies and gentlemen. You know, with the what's it called? DG might even come into play tomorrow, man. That looks really good. So let's bring in some of the charts for tomorrow that we might be interested in. But really quickly, let me put in DG on the main watch for me on the swing account, because if DG actually takes that 9,800, that's got a lot of room to the upside. A lot of room to the upside, especially with tariffs now going down, reclaiming the 200-day moving average. I mean, that is looking like a great chart. So let me quickly put that one in the watch list. DG, I'll bring in the watch list here for us real quick. There we go. Bang, bang, bang. Skeet, skeet, skeet. At above DG. Quickly go back to the scanner. Anything else that was standing out for me? TXNM was a buyout deal, so not as interesting. SOC, why did you go up today? 33, and you went to an all-time high too. So you did go to an all-time high. Was that on earnings report? No, not earnings report, but you had a pretty high volume candle today, and you closed above all-time high or at all-time high. Fairly, no, I wouldn't say bearish at all. Not bearish at all. So SOC, yeah, SOC suck. Not sure what the catalyst is for this bad boy, but that's where this thing comes into help for us. Sable Offshore Corp reports restart of oil productions at the Santa Cruz unit and anticipated oil sales from Las Flores pipeline. Restarted oil, nearly completed repairs on the onshore pipeline required by consent decree. Will tests have shown stronger performance compared to the previous production period, with plans to resume full oil sales by July 2025. So good news at the end of the day, I guess. Impact rating 8 out of 10. Sentiment bullish. Sentiment from the AI is bullish, and you can see how the stock clearly is trading on a bullish sentiment already, taking out the all-time high. So look, this tool is already helping us out over here. The last 5 times the stock gapped up more than 5%, it actually closed below the day's open. Let's go see if it did that today. It did not close below the day's open, so it looks like things are changing a little bit. So those stats are going to change very soon. What's the float on this company? Shares outstanding 89 million, so still somewhat of a small cap, I guess. Market cap is now 2 billion, so just basically breaking that barrier of a small cap and going into a mid cap company, and off that earnings report potentially even very soon changing into a much different position and so on. You know, any company generating oil, we know how that one goes, and if they're selling oil, that's got to be a name to keep an eye on. So SOC, watch that one. DG is standing out to me for a swing and for a day trade, so watching this one too. And now we get to talk about some of the names that reported earnings today. For that, I'm gonna have to load up Benzinga. In the meantime, let me just pull up the charts. We got Telecom reporting earnings after hours. We got, that's it. Yeah, so not many stocks that reported earnings after hours, sadly. So let's just quickly read the earnings report for TCOM. It's not Telecom, it's Trip.com, but it just makes it easier to say Telecom. Anyways, Trip.com reported unaudited results for the first quarter after the market closed. Here's a report: 1.91 billion versus, where's the estimates? In line with the estimates. Gotcha. First quarter earnings EPS at 82 cents, missing estimates of 86 cents. Revenue up 16% year over year. Accommodation reservation revenue up 23%. Transportation ticketing revenue up 8%. Package tour revenue up 7%. Corporate travel revenue up 12%. With $12.8 billion in cash and equivalents. Management will hold a conference call. Shares were down 2% year to date, holding into the print. Stock was down 1.7% after hours. Only 2% down year to date. That's not bad at all. We've seen a lot of stocks crash recently. So only 2% down year to date. Oh, because it did recover a lot of it. In an absolute box at the moment. So not much excitement left on this name, I guess. And with that after hour move today, I'm not expecting the stock to get below that low. Let's quickly go back into the after hour move. Yeah, it kind of just bounced off of that low. So given that earnings report, I think, I would need to see stock holding above 68, 67 for me to even think long. So buyers need to step back in above today's high for me to even want to be interested in a long. And today's high basically is 650. What is that, 67.50? 67.50. So if buyers do come back in above 67.50, I think there is a long trade over there for us to capitalize in. But if that doesn't happen and we're trading between today's range, I am just simply not interested on that trade at all. Let's go to the next name on the watch list, a name that reported earnings today pre-market. Zim reporting earnings, having a nice little breakout, but rejecting right off of a nice daily level high. So watching for potentially some sort of a consolidation in this area. If we start consolidating into the high of that area, then that breakout above that area is very interesting. If we start holding into the low of this area, possibly a long in this area to a move up here was also something to keep an eye out for. The fact that we're already trading below the halfway point of today is actually a little bit of a turnoff. And the way the stock traded today also, I don't even have to look at the 5-minute chart. I know it automatically because I traded it. But let me quickly show you the chart, holding below the VWAP after having a double top reject. So ideally you want to see the stock getting above earnings VWAP for us to even think about a move above 2050, 21 or higher. So if we're not holding above earnings VWAP, which is around 1980, I'm just gonna say $20. If we're not holding above 20 as an inflection level, is it even worth looking for the stock as a long tomorrow? So the answer is probably no on that one. And if it holds 20, then potentially we can look for a move above 21 or higher. But if it's not holding 20, then I'm not sure I even care about a trade on this stock tomorrow. We can potentially look for a trade in the coming days, in the next few weeks, or whenever it sets up. Pony AI reporting in the pre-market, and this stock has been going a little crazy recently. Now, I'm not expecting them to report an awesome stock market or awesome report. But if they do, I mean, that changes things very quickly because Uber partnerships, they're now showing a growth, and they're actually showing revenues coming in previously not expected. So if some things start showing in the positive light, Pony AI might actually catch some traction and blast off. We've seen this stock go crazy recently, and this sideways right side action is perfect. This is exactly what you want to see. Yeah, we're below the 5-day moving average right now, but with tomorrow's earnings report, this could really catch some traction if it has good news. So watch out for this one. You could also call this a little bit of a cup and handle almost. It's a V-shaped recovery. This is a little bit of a cup right here, and you got a handle. So once that handle breaks, you got an absolute awesome north side action to be involved in for a swing trade, for a day trade, whatever it is. So if Pony reports well tomorrow and gaps up and looks to be above its all-time high again, guess what? I'm going to potentially be adding Pony to my swing trade account and trying to get long, especially how bullish today the market was. But if Pony gets right back into the south side, then you want to be careful. Here's a good name to keep an eye out for tomorrow. HD, especially for the swing trade also. Robinhood right below, sorry, not Robinhood. HD, Home Depot right below the 200-day moving average. A nice little consolidation before the 200-day moving average. Obviously, with it reporting earnings report, it might just gap up on a positive report, which is okay. It's a good thing. If it does gap up, then you get to take a dip buy, or you get to take an opening range breakout for the swing account and see if you can get a move up to 430, which I think is the all-time high. So a possible move back into all-time high territories. You know, maybe you get to go long somewhere around 390, somewhere around 400, and for risking previous day's lows, maybe you get a nice move up to 420, 430 on a swing account. So watching Home Depot for sure, and watching it for a day trade, obviously, without a doubt too. On the earnings report, if the report is well, it's gonna be in good territories to look for the long side. And if the market's bullish again like it was today, very, very good trade over there to keep an eye out for. So quickly coloring both of these names as high important territories, or high important stocks to keep an eye out for myself. Billy, China name, for an $18 stock, only 6 million shares, not as interesting, but you know, previously it has been a name that gives you extra volume and a little bit of a better range to trade off of. I think right now it's only 83 cents intraday ATR, so not really too exciting. But tomorrow, if the earnings report comes out well, we'll see how it plays out. For now, it's not a high priority name for me at all. It doesn't even deserve a blue priority for me. Viking, not... Yeah, you guys probably heard that accent kick in, huh? Viking Holdings is currently... it was an IPO, I remember trading. So it's nice little recovery, you know, RCL, CCL territories. But I don't really have a plan on this name. And probably a good thing, because it's a recent IPO and it's an earnings name, and that's a really good breakout over there. Nice breakout from 42 to 48. So missing out that one, I guess. Not a high priority name either, honestly. But with the earnings report, it might just be important, not for a swing trade at all, but this one might be a little important for the day trade if there is a volume spike and a range opportunity too. Wow, Amer Sports, I'm pretty surprised. I remember this IPO. Pretty surprised by where the stock is at the moment. Nice bounce off the 200-day moving average. I forget what company Amer Sports owns. I think it's like Wilson. I'm pretty sure they own Wilson. Is it? Well, hello? Ah, Arc'teryx. Ah, okay. Never mind. I'm pretty sure they owned Wilson, though. Ah, they do. There you go. Wilson. I'm smart. I'm a genius. I remember my research. So pretty high important brand. If I remember correctly, Wilson was that company that created the bouncing 3D printed airless basketball. I think it's Wilson. They are also the go-to company that create NFL footballs and I think NBA basketballs and so on. It's a pretty big company. Arc'teryx, hopefully I'm saying that right, is also another pretty big company. The stock is near all-time high. So just all things bullish. If the report looks good, you know, I am interested on both long and swing trade. Now, a couple stocks over here that I'm more interested on the swing trade than the day trade. But if the day trade sets up too, then I'm interested for that one too. This is CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike above 446, 445.50. You could even say above 452. So above 451, 452. Once it really gets above this level, you don't really have to wait for this area to break. You can kind of join the trend in this move right here, get a little bit of a better price, but understand that you still might have to risk it quite a bit deeper south if it does fall. But you know what, this one actually looks very good. Remember when I was so anti CrowdStrike and so bearish on CrowdStrike, and you know, I'm pretty shocked that CrowdStrike's right back up to all-time highs and maybe even higher than where it was previously. So if it does try to break out again, I think the cybersecurity sector is actually going a little crazy, and with PanW reporting tomorrow after hours, wouldn't be surprising to see CrowdStrike kind of join that trend. Now obviously I don't want to suggest PanW breakout tomorrow because they're reporting tomorrow after hours. So we'll talk about PanW after hours tomorrow, but there is a little bit of a possible breakout trade here before they even report. Something to keep an eye out for you degen gamblers. But I think based on PanW's report, this is where CrowdStrike potentially will give you the trade to be involved in. Other than CrowdStrike, there is another name, TTD, another good cup and handle here. You got the cup, you got the handle, potentially breaking off that area right here. You could maybe wait for 78.80 to be taken out and then join the party, or you can just join the party now and risk this kind of area low right there and look for TTD to push back into its 200-day moving average right after having a lot of bearish sentiment and weakness in the start of the year. It looks like it's turning the corner very quickly, turning the books very quick, and you know, 200-day moving average seems like a very logical target. You know, for joining the breakout of 80 and risking, let's say $5 or even $10, you're getting a look to see a $20 move, or maybe even more than $20, where the stock could go up to 130, 140 if the QQQ is taking out all-time high by the end of June, July, right? So there's so many cards over here that can be played at the moment on the market. It's just such an awesome, beautiful time. What a wonderful time to live and be trading on this market. Thank you, Trump, is all we can say, honestly. Thank you, Father Trump, Papa Trump, or Daddy Trump, whatever you want to call him. You know, President Trump, I guess, is what we will call him, for helping us with the big market crash and then booming it right back up. Look at the way Robinhood is moving right now. Robinhood is flagging, giving a nice little consolidation side, not really, but a little bit of a back and forth, and then going right back into a day's high and looking like it wants to push into the 52-week high and then break out of the 52-week high. I might have to buy back my Robinhood shares that I dumped on this name and ride it back up north again. So it's almost time to buy back some of these positions that I had to dump on my accounts and join back the trend. Google might be time to get long Google more. SE might be time to get long SE more. Nice little bounce off the earnings VWAP for SE. So, you know, there's so many names over here at the moment. I don't have enough money in my account to buy all these names. There's so many setups, there's so much moves happening that if you are not scanning the market, ladies and gentlemen, if you are not scanning the market, you are simply going to miss out on what is going to be one of the most monstrous rally or one of the biggest rug pull in the market. Now, I don't know what it's gonna be, but I'm ready for either one of it. I'm so ready for either one of it, and I hope you are too, honestly, man. This is an awesome opportunity to be involved in. Reddit having a little bit of a pullback today, so if you are a Reddit lover, you know, that's not something you want to see. It's basically giving back the 200-day moving average again. It did have a little bit of a negative news, but nothing really too much to trade off of. Baba going back and forth in this area. I'm not too interested in Baba anymore, also because Baba hurt my feelings with the way I keep losing on that name. Uber might be time to add to my Uber positions. Uber is now giving you a nice nice little flag at all-time high. And not only did it break all-time high recently, it's giving you a nice flag into all-time high. So if Uber trades above what, 92.90, let's just say 93 tomorrow. If Uber is trading above 93 tomorrow, the most logical thing you can do is take the opening range breakout for your long-term account and then risk the day's low. It's the most easiest logical thing you can do, and enjoy the ride to the north side. Who knows how long Uber is going to keep going. Uber could go up to in the next week, next 2 weeks, easily to $100, right? So that's a $7 move up there that you possibly are getting out of risking I want to say $1. You know, you might get a look at $7, maybe even $3 risk. Let's say if Uber gets back below $90 and starts holding below $90, that is your risk. You're risking $3, and now you have a look for to see if the stock can go up to 100, 200, 300. I'm not saying we're gonna hold it that long. It's a swing account, it's not an investing account. But if the stock just does not stop holding SMAs and just keeps going up and up and up, that's all you really need. You know, put 10% of your account on that trade right here, and you might end up getting a 30%, 40%, 50% return on that 10% position. So things like this, granted, this is a very extended move on Uber. That's a 52% move. We are currently up 28% from the 200-day moving average. The market's not even at all-time highs. There's a lot of things that could happen over here where it pulls back and absolutely fails. But the way Uber's moving up right now, building little supports on the way up, holding the moving averages, it's just such a beautiful chart to not be involved in. So Uber, Palantir is another one that looks in a similar situation. Palantir holding previous all-time highs on the pullback and looking to go back up. And you know how important Palantir is for the government, how important Palantir is for Palantir CEO himself. That guy loves his company. You know, it's always a good thing when a CEO loves his company. But all of these names are more so for me on the swing account, and also for the day trade, but more so on the swing. Coming back to the day trade, which will be your Teslas, your Nvidias. You know, Tesla could also be interesting for a swing account too, but I just feel like I missed the boat. But you know, you're not really missing the boat. You could catch Tesla here and still get a move all the way up north. If you're interested, there's TSLL. You could also trade TSLL, catch it above the 200-day moving average on that one, and then enjoy the ride up on Tesla instead of directly buying Tesla itself. So a couple ideas over there for your swing account if you're interested in. But coming back to the day trade, you know, there's a lot of good ranges being formed right now, with a lot of stocks going sideways but not crashing when they're going sideways. So if these breakouts happen, you want to be involved in them. Microsoft right back into all-time high here, so very, very close. Google getting ready to reclaim 200-day moving average. Meta going up north again. Amazon is the only kind of weak link over here, but that's still above the 200-day moving average. So technically the only weak link is Google, and Apple is also the weak link. But look how beautiful of a breakout Apple's gonna have when it breaks that 214. When Apple breaks 214, I'm looking for a free ride to 225 on the swing account. It might take some time for Apple to do that. It might take some time for the market to go to all-time high if the Apple is not getting above the 200-day moving average. Also, what you don't want to see is the 200-day moving average start sloping down on Apple. That's not a positive indication, especially it being the largest holding in the QQQ and the S&P 500. It's the largest company in the market. You don't want to see the largest largest stock in the market showing you bearish indications such as a negative slope on EMA, on the most important EMA, right? So that's not what you want to see. Thankfully, every other large cap stock, even the market itself, is not doing that. The market itself is giving you a curve back up, and the market itself is giving you a possible breakout into all-time high. So giving all that, market possibly giving you a breakout on Apple. Usually it's Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, all of these reclaim their 200 before the market reclaims 200. They did, but you also have Google, Apple, which are two of the biggest companies out there, which are still above or below their 200. Amazon, one of the biggest companies, at its 200, right? So still a lot of opportunities out there for you to deploy your capital if market keeps on booming. We might just be stepping into the next biggest bull market rally if Trump is able to pull off everything that he said he wants to pull off, you know, those budget cuts, if he actually pulls off tax cuts for the poor, all that extra money that the poor people are possibly going to save, they might just throw it back into the market. There were some conversations about starting every single kid who is under 18 with $1,000 account invested for them, and then you get it when you're born, and then when you graduate at 18 or whatever, you get that account unlocked. Actually, let's ask AI this question. AI, if you put $1,000 into SPY 18 years ago from today, what would it be? This is why I hate investing, dude. Investing sucks. Look at this. 18 years, $1,000 turns into 5.38. That's not even gonna cover your student loan tuition and your student loan debts and all that nonsense. Oh my god, that is so sad. Only $5,000. Now, I know people who turn $20,000 into $20 million, $30 million in the span of 5 years. Granted, it was COVID market, it was hot market, but I know people who have done stuff like that with very similar amount of money. This is why investing sucks. Never get married to your position. When a stock is not doing good, cut your positions and take your profits, okay? When Dollar General starts to move down like it did, you take your losses and you move on. But right now, when Dollar General is getting ready to reclaim 98, reclaim 100, that's where you start getting ready to play, games. That's where you start ready to get active and start looking for the longs. There's so many charts out there, ladies and gentlemen, and I cannot express how sad I am for how lack of capital I have. The more capital is obviously better because you can be involved in some of the best moves over here. But if you are interested in some of the best moves, you might not get better moves than Tesla, than Nvidia. These are giving you some really good consolidations before they go for their next leg up run north. You're getting to buy Nvidia only 10-ish% away from its 200-day moving average. The last time Nvidia was on a bull run, it went 134% away from its 200-day moving average, okay? So if you are playing your cards right, there is still so much potential here on these stocks to capitalize on, okay? Maybe you're worried that Nvidia and AI is a bubble, and I don't want to be touching a bubble that big, okay? You got Amazon. Last time Amazon went on a big bull run, let's call this the last Amazon big bull run, it went from the 200-day moving average 65% above, and you're getting to buy Amazon 2% away from the 200-day moving average. So if you're just considering these simple factors, from what opportunities you have in front of you, there is so much to be excited about in this market, and especially how the market reacted today to the Moody's downgrade. It was a big middle fingers up to the market. It said, no, we don't care what you have to say, Moody. We think that you are politically politically driven in this article, and this stock is or the market is actually in a much better state than you're claiming it to be, and we're going to buy every single dip. At least that's the way the market's acting. We're going to buy every single dip you present us with. Maybe Moody was the one who said, who dropped that report so they could get that drop in the market and then buy the dips themselves because they missed out on the rally. Also a possible a situation where I've seen it happen multiple times, right? In short reports and other cases like that. But basically, that's the watch list for tomorrow. A bunch of names on the watch list for us. Earnings names, watch list for swing names, watch list for day trades. Small cap stocks will obviously be picked up in the pre-market. PTIX probably worth putting on the watch for day 2 type of a trade. So yeah, lots of names over here to be interested in. Pre-market, not pre-market. We got economic calendar. Let's quickly take a look at that one. Nothing really too hot on the econ calendar. Looks like you got Fed member Bostic at 9 o'clock, and then that's about it. No 3-star events, only 2-star events tomorrow. So nothing significant on the economic calendar. And for the IPO calendar, we do have an IPO on the 22nd of May. Well, we have 2 IPOs on the 22nd of May. So we'll talk about that on the 21st. Actually, we will not talk about that on the 21st because I will not be streaming on the 21st. I will be going to a baseball game on the 21st to go watch the Blue Jays. So we'll talk about that on the 20th. So tomorrow, make sure you tune in to learn about Hinge Health and MNTN Inc. To learn about these 2 companies and their IPOs on the 22nd of May. Hopefully you guys found some awesome opportunities for tomorrow to make some money in. Time to roll in the outro. If you were watching me on the vertical stream, I stream Monday to Thursday, not this Wednesday, but Monday to Thursday on YouTube, and you can watch me on a bigger screen where you can see the whole stream with actual big charts and so on, and get to view a lot more information than you got to view. But if you did enjoy the stream, hit that like, hit that subscribe, all that fun stuff. Check the links down below for all my affiliate sponsors. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Good luck on the market. Peace. After the after hours with your host TraderPrad, I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.